So the Sig P320, I will put in a card somewhere my original P320 review. And imagine this, I got some heat for it because I was not super enthusiastic about the gun. Didn't back down from that review. I never do, by the way. Never do. The review is what it is. I stick by it. There you go. It is what it is. I didn't say in that review that I didn't like the P320. I just said kind of what I just said right here, summarized right here, that I'd probably choose some other guns. So if you're a P320 owner and you're looking for a rave review, yeah, sorry, you may not get it here, but it doesn't mean I don't like Sig. I do. There's a lot of great guns they have made and continue to make. The P series is my favorite. Some rifles like the MCX and its successors, I know, oddly numbered and named and changed, all that. Those are valid criticisms against Sig. I still like the guns though. That MCX is insane. I mean, it's, well, now that they've revised it, we kind of helped with that. It is reliable, super accurate, lightweight, folding stock, piston gun. MCX. There you go. Mini review. Go look that one up. Philosophy of use will be standard on this pistol. I think you guys get it. And that brings us to features of the Sig P320 X Carry. Kind of an interesting pistol, right? Interesting. So it's a variation amongst many of the P320 lineup. And let me just name some of those off that we have. And I'll just rip through these. You have the P320 Compact, the Nitron Carry, the Nitron full size. It's Nitron being the coating. It's just a full size. Then you have a P320 subcompact. And by the way, all of these will share the modular chassis feature of the P320, where the fire control group is the actual firearm and you can pop it out and exchange grip modules. I think you guys get that, right? Yeah. And then you have the P320 RX Compact, the RX full size, the TAC Ops, and then this one, the X Carry. Okay, this one actually has the same dimensions as the Compact. This one does. And so it's going to have kind of a shorter slide and a full size grip. Something I've never been a super fan of. I don't really see the reason for it. I know there's some philosophies out there of why they do it. You know, especially since this one is equipped for the Romeo 1 red dot sight. This rear sight plate is 1 unit. You can remove that and mount on, well, at least one of the Sig sights. And so some people say, well, sight radius, if you go with a reflex sight, isn't really that important. And so you might as well save some weight, some length of your slide. You're running a red dot, and yet you have a full-size grip, more rounds, more control. That's one of the philosophies out there of why they would do that. I'm not a super fan of the red dots on pistols unless you're a competitor. If you're a competitor, clearing steel out, I say go for it. It's something you're going to have to practice with and get good with. What I've always said on tabletop, mini rant, is some guys will put a red dot on their pistol to compensate for poor fundamentals, and they think that a red dot will allow them to connect better. I haven't seen that to be the case in the desert, at least. And again, I don't have this huge, broad of expansive experience, but I do have some. Okay, and that's just not what I've seen. But a lot of different variations. That's what this one is, the X Carry, and it does break from the ranks in a lot of features of the M17, M18, and other Sig P320s. And I'll start here first with the trigger. So it's a straight trigger. They call it an X series trigger, and they will say that it preps and breaks at about a 90-degree angle. And I don't know if I have my trigger scale super handy. Oh, I already measured it. It's 5 pounds 1 ounces. So interesting. I mean, straight trigger. Some guys really love that. I'm a little bit ambivalent on it. And pulling it on tabletop, it's kind of mushy, to be honest with you. It feels mushy. It's 5 pounds 1 ounces. Let's check reset. It's an okay reset. I mean, it's not like super quick. But that's the trigger. The big trigger guard, flat on the front, just like we've seen in the P series. It's basically identical. Roomy enough for gloves. High undercut in the frame. Again, this is a frame module, so you can change this to whatever you want. And I looked it up on their website. I said frame module, I should say grip modules. At least on their website, when I checked, they were pretty inexpensive. So you could change this if you wanted to. They're like 45 bucks, if I saw that right. And then, of course, being a modular pistol, you can do a caliber exchange kit, which is much more, at about $410 off the Sig website. At least for the 9mm version, the 350 Sig version, 357 Sig version. I've always said, again, caliber exchange kits are kind of funny, unless it's for a legality reason, because you're spending about as much as you would on a new pistol. Now, in a place where you register one serial number and you want to change it to a compact, subcompact version, then it makes sense. Then I'm like, okay, that makes sense. If you're in a country or a locale that would do that too. Sorry you have to live there, by the way. Yeah, so back to the grip. High undercut, really love the stippling on it. Really love the stippling. And this is an X series grip. It's more vertical, that's what they're calling it, and I like that too. So it is a departure from the regular Sig P320 grip, which I didn't mind. I thought that's a good grip. It really is. But we're seeing the stippling on a lot of different guns. Springfield's doing it, Ruger's doing it, now you're seeing it on a Sig. It's so good that you won't have to put on any aftermarket grip tape, any accessories. Says me. I love how there's no interchangeable grip modules, which makes sense because it is a grip frame exchange or a grip module exchange. Look into the magazine well, which features a lot of beveling actually. And I'm not sure if this X series grip can take the flared mag well. I know on the P320 they do have that. It might. I didn't try to fit one on. It could very well work with it. I see some attachment holes there. Who knows? But I'm not a competitor, so I don't have a need for that. 17 round magazine, standard Sig quality. It worked great. Matte finish, polymer base plate. Standard Picatinny rail on the grip module. Sig P320 X carry. Nicely executed. About the only thing I'm running these days is a light. Talking about POU, very important for a home defense application. Attachment of a light, identifying good guy, bad guy. Plenty of room here on the X carry. Very nice. And then we have a target crown. Does that really provide more accuracy in this gun? Well, if you're really good, maybe. But I would tend to say probably not. It's just a feature they can brag about and differentiate it against other competitors and perhaps even other guns in the P320 lineup. Whatever, it's cool, I'll take it. But I think your fundamentals are far more important. 3.9 inch length barrel. Field strip is standard Sig. I'll dispense with it, you know how it works. Super simple, super easy. You can see the recoil rod in here. That'll take us top side. Big old lightning cut here in the P320X carry. Kind of strange for a pistol this size. It kind of is odd. And Sig said they had to cut it out to ensure reliable functioning and some other reasons. I watched that little mini video there they have on their website. The downside to having a big open slot like this is you can get rocks in there and it will jam the gun. I know because I've done it with a Glock 34 in Sledgehammer here in TMP. Yeah, I still love the G34. Go to war capable for sure, but I really watched any gun that's milled out on the top. Make sure I don't get debris in there. I'd prefer it to be a solid top myself for a gun like this. It's just a little bit odd that it has a lightning cut there. You know, some guys will like it and say it makes it look cool. Okay, cool. I'd prefer not to have it. There's my opinion on that. And then you have the X-ray sights. I talked about the rear sight already. It's on that plate. It is removable. You can attach the Romeo 1 red dot, perhaps some others. I didn't really look. The sight presentation is excellent in this one. Tritium. There you go. Kind of see it. Pretty standard 3-dot combat sights. Standard Sig lockup. There's your extractor on the P320X carry. And then they have, I think, they have names for everything. It's hard keeping it all squared away. It's like X series serrations on this, you know, Ford serrations. Really nice milling on the slide here though. Standard, I shouldn't say standard, but pretty common in the P320 lineup that you have this bevel cut here, both front, top, and the serrations work fine. Between classic P series, what would you prefer? You know what I'm going to say. That's right, standard P series. That's what I like. Hey, it doesn't mean I'm not open to innovation. I am. I'm just telling you my preference. Triangular magazine release. It is reversible. This is a really good mag release, actually. It's perfect. I mean, it is easy to find. It will not inadvertently actuate. Doesn't get in the way. It's really nice. Perfect magazine release. You see the dual cutouts for the ambi feature of that. And then you just have a very clean fire control group. All you have is a slide release, which most people say that's a slide stop, nothing fancy. That's not a slide release. I might agree with that in this gun because it is so small. It's really designed for slingshotting. And it's not a big slide release like, well, the P320 right here, dudes. That's purposeful. I prefer this one. There you go. There you go. Nitron coated, I believe, in this one. I could be wrong on that. I think it's nitron coated. And that's pretty much features. And we've talked before in the P320 review about magazine interchangeability and stuff. Go look that video up if you're interested. That takes us to how did it shoot? How many targets do I have? Well, I have one piece of paper, so one piece of paper it shall be, but I know I did more. You might see footage of it with the crew and I shooting the P320X carry. Again, I love Sig. I got to say that because what I'm going to say now is slightly negative. At first, I didn't really enjoy shooting this trigger. I didn't enjoy shooting the gun. It kind of reminded me of the SP2022, which seems bulky in hand, and this gun does. It seems like it's just kind of chunky to me, but it really isn't. It's no bigger than, well, the 226. Let's hold these, you know, side by side. They're about the same dimensions width-wise. I don't know why I felt that way. And I just, at first, had a hard time putting the bullets exactly where I wanted to put them. Well, here you go. Here's the piece of paper right here, and I'm going to show you what I wrote. It's kind of funny, right? By the way, that's a 1/72nd scale P40 Warhawk, still on table, SOG Northwest Ranger. The watch for the review is the Harding Jetstream in Sunburst Gray with a Vulcan hit right across the dial today while I was laying concrete. Yeah, I have my crystal protector on it, so it saved it. I just got to alcohol it. It'll probably come off. This is a really cool watch. Really affordable for what it is. Just kind of a Flieger style watch. About 45 millimeters in diameter. Great strap. Look at that strap, dudes. And then on this wrist, I'm wearing my wrist computer. Oh, let me switch screens. There we go. I'll show you that screen. This thing's getting filthy. Time to clean it. Oh, yeah. Target, nothing fancy. Let's see it. What up? Oh, that's an infantry watch hanging out there. Well, here you go. I said right here, I just don't like it. And you know, in a way, it's kind of refreshing that every pistol that comes to the table I'm not raving about. I know. I just wish it was something other than Sig that I was doing it. So, Federal 124 grain JHP on that one. Thanks to Federal Premium in conjunction with Gunny's Great American Western Wear Store, gun store. And I get some boxes, like I always say, of ammunition. But thank you, Federal Premium. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, you know, some boxes and a lot of it, the JHP stuff, I'm shooting out of stash. I'm purchasing it. That's a really good group. Good group. And what's the distance? I didn't write it down. I think it's 10 yards standing. Good group, good group. I'm getting the trigger down. I did say it was a little bit mushy. I'll stick with that. I think it is. But I'm able to adapt. These are good groups. So I did warm up to it, and in the end, I'll call the accuracy actually pretty excellent. Yeah, I'm just saying the way it is. It's pretty excellent. It did shoot smooth. I thought follow-up shots came quickly. Jardine shot the X carry, and he liked it. I don't know if he raved about it. And at this point, I love using Jardine because he's so pure. He doesn't really follow any forums, any of the YouTube channels. He just comes out and gives an opinion. He's not trying to be cool or nothing. He shot the Beretta APX, FN509, lots of Glocks, the Steyr M9A1, PPQs, TP9s. He has a good experience now at this point with polymer guns. And if I remember, I asked him, I was like, hey, what do you think about this gun? Would you buy it? I think he was kind of lukewarm on it. Just kind of, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. There you go. So that gets to would I buy it? Again, I love Sig. I do. But I'm still not in love with the P320, and I'm not in love with the X carry. You know, again, the formulation of a shorter slide, longer grip.
It isn't for me either.
You know, it's kind of like the M17. What's that? A carry frame with a full-size slide? The Sig M17. Okay. And I'm just not a fan of it. You know, I'd much prefer a full-size arrangement. Let me see what I have polymer-wise on the table. Well, it's still here. I have the TP9. So this is a freaking 18-round magazine. Look at that, dude. It's flush-fitting 18-round magazine. Full-size grip, so we have a lot of rounds, a lot of control, full-size slide. Like, you know, like that, dude. This is what I'd do. By the way, I'd buy this gun over the P320X carry. Oh, not even close. Not even close. Oh, I didn't mention the weight. This is lighter. This is 27 ounces. I think this is 29 ounces. So hit on the TP9. It's not ultimately light, and I've said that in every review. It is a very competent gun. As I shot it more, I did warm up to it, and I was like, yeah, this is a pretty good gun. Sorry, I still wouldn't buy it. That's just me. I'd get a PPQ over it. Totally. The PPQ is amazing. Let's remind ourselves of that amazing trigger, and this is an M1, or what do they call it? The original. Classic, I think is what they call it. Look at that reset, dudes.
Good shots.
Guys who miss a lot go, yeah, it's a reset that's off. No, it's your shooting that's off, bro. It's your shooting that's off. And we've all been there. I've been there myself. It's not the reset. How about the Steyr M9A1, bro? Yeah. Love that gun. The RoboCop gun.
Really seems to
love that gun.
Really
or its long slide version, the L9A1.
I'm sure it has a similar.
Yeah, man. Let's compare it. This is actually probably pretty similar in sizing. It is. I still like this gun better. I like the sights. I like its trigger. I like the grip. It's just a cool gun. And it shoots so smooth and accurate. Once you get used to the sight presentation on the Steyr, you'll probably like it. You'll go, yeah, that's a pretty good gun. And I thought a couple others here. Maybe I don't. Coming to mind, I mentioned them briefly. Maybe I'll roll in some footage. Maybe I won't. The FN509. The Beretta APX. We tested those last year, and we like those guns. Those are very competent guns. Ruger American? No, still don't dig it so much. Ruger Security 9? Yep, good gun. Like it. Glock 17, of course. Can never go wrong with any of the Glocks. Not never. They're awesome. PPQ, I showed you that one. CZ P320. Oh, I love that gun. That's a good gun, dude. I'd buy that all day long over P320. All day. All day. Although I have read some negative stuff on the not P320, but the CZ P320. Here's the bottom line. You can find negative stuff on everything. Everything. If there's a reviewer and he goes against the flow, if something's considered awesome and then he comes out with a video saying how awful it is, that's views. That's views. It's just the way it works. I'm not saying that those people are making stuff up. I'm not. But I'm just saying the nature of the business is if you go against the flow, you will get attention in the online world. And a lot of the anti-Sig sentiment, here comes another rant, is based on that. Hey, Sig is considered awesome. Well, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to say it's not awesome. That's how it works. I've been working in YouTube a long time. Me, I just call it how it is. No one buys my voice. No one tells me what to say. Not Sig. Not Gunnies. Gunnies doesn't say a word to me. He doesn't care what I say. Wyatt's awesome. He doesn't care. He's a TMPer, by the way. Thank him. Gunny's a great American Western wear store. Gun store. So the P320X carry is a good gun. That's the bottom line. It, by the way, was 100% reliable as I remember. Didn't have any failures through JHP, through FMJ. No big surprise. Could I have made it fail by some unusual testing media? Yeah, probably. Every gun can fail. But from what I saw in real world testing, I call it operational in the desert, it did fine. Yeah, a little bit lukewarm on the gun, but I'm not lukewarm on Sig. I'm sure they'll continue to do great products as long as we support them. And I love a lot of their guns. That is my review. Rant complete.
Go a little slower here.
It's not magical for you though, is it?
Not.
It's not magical for you.
No. No.
It isn't for me either.
Yeah, I thought I was having the same point of aim, even on the plate, but I don't know what I was doing. Maybe I was pulling the trigger, but nice sights, nice grip, trigger feels good.
I wouldn't buy it.
Well, a lot of polymer wonders out there.